Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Working Horses with Jim. I am Jim, and we are about ready to head up to Portsmouth College to do some more logging today. We are moved on to our new job up there, which is just across the road from where I was, and I will show you that job and show you what's going on up there as we go throughout the day. We're taking Bill and Baron with us today. Bill has already been harnessed up. Let's see what kind of troubles we can get into today. Get it. So the temperature this morning is about, almost 50 degrees. It's one of those days where it's so questionable whether I want to put blankets on the horses or not. I still have my trailer closed in, so there's no huge amount of air coming in, but still, I don't want to have them too hot. It is a 50-minute drive to Portsmouth College, and it's always about 5 to 7 degrees colder up there than on the farm. Hey Skip, say hi. Hey. So the way I tell if the blankets were a good idea is if they're sweaty or not. And he is not sweating this morning, so that must be about right then. Cap. No.
If you notice right here, my pole or my tongue has quite a bend to it, and I'm going to have to replace it soon. I have a new pole all ready for us sitting in the lower right hand corner of this picture that I'll have to put on at some point.
Okay guys, this is my new landing that I just got moved on to. And where I was logging is right across the road. And we took a pile of trees out of there, and hopefully it looks good, being it's right next to the road. So this is our new job we got started on. As you can see, we got a good sized pile of logs ready to go for a sawmill that we're dealing with. But before we get logging, let me just talk a little bit about what I actually thought a lot about recently, and then even coming up this morning, I thought some more about this subject, and I just want to talk a little bit about it. Tackle step, tackle step. Okay, so what is the difference between a horse trainer and somebody that just works horses? And you know, you might say you can't put the two, you know, separate the two, and to a degree that is true. But I personally do not really consider myself a horse trainer. I'm more of I work with horses. In the process of working with horses, yes, I do some training, but not to the degree that so many other horse trainers do. And I just wanted to even now throw out a few names and even YouTube people that I consider horse trainers. And so let's get right on to that. I guess as far as the definition of a horse trainer and someone that just works with horses is completely different from one person to the next, I'm sure. But somebody that can do things with horses in the training process, like for example, when you go to and see people that do stunts with horses, I'm thinking some of the people at like the rodeos, the things that they do when they're jumping on and off horses and just doing all these stunts. To me, that's quite impressive. When I think about the Lipizzan stallions that do this show and go all over the world performing, that too is very impressive. When I see these guys that are doing Roman riding for shows, sometimes you know, they're driving the horses while they're standing on the top of their backs, and sometimes they do it with several horses at a time. Seems like I've seen one guy doing a 6-horse hitch and he was Roman riding in the back. Just amazing to me. Now I don't get out a lot. I don't get to a lot of places to see these shows, so I don't have any names on top of my head as to some of these guys are. And even these few people I am going to name, I'm sure I'm missing some people that are very good horse trainers also. But I just wanted to shout out to a couple of these guys right here in the States. There's well, to start with, I feel, this may seem like a different subject, but I feel I'm very fortunate to be logging in the North Country, because I think and feel that to do horse logging, it puts us at a big advantage over people more in the southern parts of our country or southern parts of the world. In the wintertime we have snow, which makes for really nice logging as long as there's not too much of it. And then in the spring and fall, the temperature is so much cooler than it is in so many parts of the world, so horses can just work so much better and easier because of that. So I do think we have a big advantage there. To work down south It's got to be tough. This morning it was, right here at Paul Smith's, it's like 45 degrees. Pretty cold for this time of year, even for us. But you guys down south, I'm hearing that you're sweltering in the heat already. That's really a whole different type of logging that I do. But getting back to this training part, there's one guy that I know of down south, and he does logging with his horses. And to me, he is more of a horse trainer than I am. His name's John, and I'll put his YouTube channel up here on the screen. And he does amazing things with his roan horses that he has. But he also works with horses too, so he's kind of both. But go ahead and check him out and see what he is able to do with those 2 horses of his. And he's just a young man, so I'm sure he hasn't got a lot of things figured out yet, because he's just too young to have gone through as much as I've gone through, and I surely haven't figured things out, so I doubt he has either. But he still does a great job with those horses, and he's more of a horse trainer than I am because of some of the things he's doing. There's another gal out in the UK that has a YouTube channel, and I have not watched a lot of her videos, but I surely have watched some because it's so impressive to watch. She is doing things with her horses that I could never do. Driving them, without a bridle on, driving one horse or riding one horse and having about a dozen others follow her, it seems like. So go check her out too. Her first name's Emma, I know that. I can't remember her last name, but I will put the name of her channel up on the screen also. The other guy I'm thinking of, and guys, I know there's a ton of guys out there that I maybe should be giving a shout out to that are just great horse trainers, but these are just the 3 that I'm kind of thinking of right now. But there's a guy in the UK also, and I even know that Emma knows them because I've seen her in one of their videos. I can't even think of the guy's name. I should know it. I've watched quite a few of his videos, and he's been doing videos for a long time. Not necessarily on YouTube maybe, but on Facebook or wherever I've been seeing him. But this guy is just completely insane. Sorry guy, but just completely insane about how he goes about training his horses and working horses. Now, don't get me wrong, I have the utmost respect for him as a horseman. He just does crazy things with his horses. I've seen him out there a while ago now, out somewhere in the UK, I don't know, and he has his goggles on because he's going through this mud with 4 horses on this light sled with no tongue to keep the sled from sliding into the horses, and he's going about 100 miles an hour through this mud and this incredible terrain, and has complete control of these horses, and yet it just seems insane what he's doing. But anyways, like I said, I have the utmost respect for him as a horseman, and now I think he's slowed down a little bit, and he's actually got a farm, and he's doing some farm work with his horses. So he works his horses also, but he also is a horse trainer, and a very good horse trainer. So why am I saying all this stuff? I guess I'm just thinking about this stuff and thinking about the fact that some of these things that these guys do, maybe I could do it, but I'm in the business of getting logs out. I'm in the business of farming. I don't really have the time to do that type of training, even though it does look like fun. And who knows, maybe someday I will. But also some of these things that I see these people do, I definitely wouldn't suggest it to most people because of the skill level that's needed to do that and the training level. Now, I'm not talking about just working horses. I'm talking about true training horses. These people are sometimes going without any bridles, without any bits in their horses' mouths, and doing amazing things with these animals. I personally, on a more of an average horseman type of suggestion: I do not promote any type of use of horses without a bit in their mouths. I just don't think it's worth the risk. If you're out in the woods and fooling around with horses without a bit, well, that's all well and good. They're just going to run around, run into a tree, whatever. But it's just not safe to do for an average horseman. You've got to be so superior, and I've seen many of average horsemen try it, and I'm just seeing, oh my goodness, there's an accident in the making. So I just do want to caution that. And I do it quite often, but so much less than I did in my younger years. In my younger years, I'd let my horses go by themselves a lot. But horses tend to, especially when they're logging and pulling heavy loads, if you allow them to just go by themselves, you can holler ho, and they probably will stop. But the more you do it, the less they're going to stop. And the longer you do it, the higher risk of you getting into trouble and having to run away. So I just really suggest safety first, and generally do not go without a bit, and generally do not let your horses go without you driving them. And I know there's a lot of generalization there, but it's something that we really have to think about. And I think as I get older, I am probably a lot older than a lot of horsemen out there. I've seen enough and had enough mistakes, had enough runaways, had enough situations to know that I don't care how good of a horseman you are, I don't care how good your horses are, things can go wrong, and go wrong fast. So, you know, be careful out there, guys. Okay, enough of my preaching, I guess, this morning about safety. I'm not really a safety person. I'm really not, but as I get older, I probably am more so than I was. Well, I know I am more so than I was when I was younger. Half the things I'm talking about right now is me thinking back to my youth and seeing how stupid I was and some of the things that I did. Anyhow, my horses seem to be hungry. They're eating the balsam trees, and I've got to go clean my path to my trail and get some trees down. Careful. Oh. Back. Oh. Oh. Two.
So I tie my horses and I'm going back to cut another tree. But here I wanted to show you this swamp or this little pond, whatever you want to call it. And I am afraid that as soon as we get warm weather up here in the Adirondacks, the bugs are going to be terrible, especially being around this body of water. Fortunately, I have a lot of jobs at home, so I may be pulling out of here in a little bit and doing some of the jobs close to home. Yesterday morning, I took my horses, these two, up to the shoer and we put our heavy-duty logging shoes back on them. We've had flat shoes on them for quite a while now. The trees on this job are not very big in diameter, so there's times where I will just take the whole tree in one hitch. But there's other times where they're just long enough and big enough I choose to take them in 2 hitches, so I hitch onto the second piece first and pull it up to the first piece and then take the 2 of them out. I guess I kind of explained that wrong. I sometimes take it out in one long tree, and sometimes I cut the tree in half and still take them out in one hitch together. So I know I need to back over this stump, so I just took my chainsaw and made a kind of a ramp on this stump, cut the corner off so it's easier for the cart to back up over it.
That's good.
Once again, it's so nice to have a chain with a grab hook on the opposite end so I can hitch it to the other chain. So I have 2 chains hitched together to pull these trees that are farther away from the cart. So I knew I had that stump right there, and I was concerned that the log might hit it, and so I was quite prepared to stop fast, and sure enough it did. So now I have to back up and get a closer hitch to get it up and around that little stump.
The back. The back. Oh! Oh. Oh.
Well, guys, I guess that's enough videoing for today. You guys have a great day, and we'll see you next time. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button. And don't forget our good sale on shirts and t-shirts.
Oh.